Well, Gaffer, narrow defeat against Bolton Wanderers, but plenty of positives to take.
Yeah, I mean we've had a difficult 4 games from the point of view. We've played a lot of good opposition in the 4 games, but I think we've acquitted ourselves well. We're obviously a new team and new faces have come in, and I think that the way that we've played, we've dealt with the opposition, the chances we've created, it's been very good, and that was typified on last night against Bolton. Is that the way we passed the ball, we dealt with the threat of Bolton, because we've got to remember that Salford went there last week, lost 5-1, and Wickham went away there and lost 3-0. So it was always a difficult venue to go to, but the way that the players adapted to the opposition, but also the way that they could have found themselves in that 18-yard box a number of times on the night. Just that final pass at this moment in time is letting us down.
I think if we look at the defensive side of play, I mean, a lot of people are already saying it's improved drastically from last season. That must really that must really please you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you've always got to base yourself on having a good defensive unit. With that, allows you the platform to go forward, and that's what we're trying to do. We've had a lot of good moments in games where we've been in that other half of the pitch in the opposition, and finding that right pass has been a little bit of an issue on Tuesday night. But I think that will come with the understanding the new players coming in and the ones that are already here.
I think as well, we look at the chances created. I mean, Ryan Delaney agonisingly close. Farron Dawson as well, like you said last night. If those go in, it's a different game altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Bolton didn't have many opportunities that were clear cut. I mean, even the goal wasn't clear cut. It was a scramble into the box, and Ash Hunter puts a terrific cross in for Delaney. He heads it just past the post, and Farron is just very close, with his header. We were caught offside a couple of times in that first half, which might have gone our way, and we just didn't find that final pass. But I think that we are moving ahead as a team. We've played away to Peterborough, away to Bolton, and we've been able to be undefeated at home against two teams who will be probably around about the mid-table in Shrewsbury and Fleetwood.
You've said it already, the amount of new bodies coming in over the summer, it does take time for them to gel, but already seeing positive signs of that.
Yeah, we are. I think that we've got a small squad. We understand that because we know that it's due to the budgetary constraints from last year and into this year. Everyone understands that, but we've been able to take in players that have come into the team. They're good on the ball, they're good defensively as well, and I can think that they'll progress over the season. It's our job again this year is to have League One football the season after.
One of those players that came in, Max Melbourne, obviously very unfortunate to be stretchered off last night. Do we have any update on Max?
Yeah, Max is away for a scan today, and we'll obviously assess that. He felt his hamstring in the second half, so really disappointed for him and for us, because it's another player we're down injured. We've got 2 injuries at this moment in time: Courtney from his time when he was at Stockport, and now Max, so it just cuts our options down slightly.
Just a word on the fans. Excellent support yet again. We seem to be saying that week in, week out, but such is the incredible support that they show up and support the lads week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, outstanding. We had nearly 800 there last night, and it was a terrific backing. Bolton this year have put them right up the top of the stand, which is their priority. But I think that the fans would have got a good view of the game. They would have been able to see a Morecambe side try and pass the ball, try and get into that final third, and defend well at times.
And how helpful is it to hear those fans singing week in, week out, supporting you, cheering on the lads? I suppose it's one of those where it affects the lads more positively than anyone can really imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it is vital when you have over 17,000 at the game last night, and the majority have been the home support, but a lot of times last night the home support were quiet. You could hear them talking amongst each other, and you got a sense they were talking about Morecambe, because Morecambe had the ball, and they were quite surprised in the way that we had taken the game to Bolton in that first period of time, and probably didn't expect that.
I suppose the lesson being for other teams is not to underestimate this Morecambe side.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the story of this football club for many a season, and we've been the underdogs for so many years, and that's not going to change in the short term, but over the long term that will hopefully be ever changing. But from a supporter's point of view, they enjoy going to different stadiums and enjoy the atmosphere that's happening in League One.
Another big journey coming up on Saturday, Oxford United. What are your thoughts going into that one?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously in today, Wednesday, to train because we've got the game on Saturday. Some of the players will recover, some of the ones that didn't play last night will train, and we'll be well prepared for the game on Saturday. They've lost the last 2 games, we understand that. They're at home, and they'll be looking to try and get a positive result. We're exactly the same. We've come off a draw and a defeat, and we're looking to try and get that win that would enable us to move up a number of places in the league.
I think one of the most memorable nights last season was the win against Oxford United here towards the end of the season. A lot of personnel changes for both sides, I suppose, over the summer, but is that something that you can look back on and try to perhaps gain an advantage?
Yeah, I mean, we could do. Oxford have changed a few bodies, not many as we have since last year, but they're a very good side. They do have a beautiful ground at home, and they're trying to get themselves out of League One into the Championship. Not last season, but the season before, they were in the playoffs. But we'll go there and try and get the better of them. We did it here at the end of last season. It was a fantastic game, and it was a much needed 3 points at the time.
Having spoken to Conor Ripley earlier, he was emphasising the team spirit, which I suppose, like I said to him, at any level it's huge, but it can be really advantageous, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a tight-knit squad, and they are very... they've got a good bond, and they react well to each other, they look after each other, which is really important. And that stemmed from pre-season. The players that we've taken in have helped that, and having that team spirit takes you far.
And finally, Carl Robinson has done a good job in his time so far at Oxford United. What are the biggest threats, I suppose, that you can expect from his side?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of quality players throughout their side. They do well with loans in that London area because of proximity to it, and they've got a vast array of clubs from the Premier League that they can take from. But they've got a lot of talented players. You'll have to look at Bannigan, who was touted to go to the Championship. That move hasn't come off yet, but he's a outstanding player for them.